When you're trusted to handle people's data, you carry more than a technical responsibility. You carry a legal and ethical obligation to protect privacy. The Protection of Personal Information Act, POPIA, is South Africa's key data privacy legislation, and it's built to ensure that organizations collect, use, store, and share personal data responsibly. As a security leader, POPIA isn't just legalese. It's a framework that affects how you build systems, train users, and respond to incidents. Let's break it down so you can lead with both compliance and care. As a security leader, you can't protect privacy without a clear framework, and POPIA gives you exactly that. The law is built around 8 core principles that guide how you must collect, manage, and secure personal information. Each principle acts as a North Star for designing systems and policies that respect individual rights and ensure compliance. Let's walk through each principle so you can apply them confidently in your role. You are fully responsible for ensuring that personal data is handled in line with the law. That means you must go beyond surface-level awareness. You need to put policies, procedures, documentation, training, and measurable compliance practices in place. Accountability also means having a clear record of actions taken, because if something goes wrong, you'll need to prove that you did the right thing, not just say it. You must ensure that personal data is only processed lawfully and with consent, and only to the extent needed. As a security leader, it's your job to implement least privilege access, monitor usage, and restrict systems from over-collecting or retaining unnecessary data. Limiting access is not just a security principle. It's a legal obligation under POPIA. Personal information can only be collected for a specific, clearly defined, and lawful purpose. You can't collect data just in case. It's up to you to work with business teams to classify data properly, define its purpose clearly, and make sure retention schedules and sharing policies are aligned with the reason for collection. If data needs to be used again, it must remain consistent with the original purpose. That means any new processing, analysis, or sharing must be justified and aligned. You need to assess third-party processing, downstream uses, and internal reclassification, because even good intentions can violate this principle if data strays too far from its intended use. You have a duty to ensure that data is accurate, complete, and current. If your systems contain outdated or incorrect information, you could misrepresent individuals and expose your organization to risk. That's why you must implement validation checks, regular data reviews, and correction workflows that give users the ability to update their information. You must be transparent about what personal data you collect, why you collect it, and how it's used. That means your systems and processes need to include clear privacy notices, opt-in mechanisms, and visibility into who has access. Openness builds trust, and without it, users and regulators will question your credibility. This is where you truly step into the spotlight. You are responsible for implementing technical and organizational measures to protect data from unauthorized access, loss, or breach. This includes encryption, firewalls, endpoint protection, access control, incident response planning, and user education. POPIA makes it clear: safeguarding data isn't optional, it's your duty. Individuals have rights, and it's your job to make sure those rights can be exercised. That means giving people access to their data, allowing corrections, and honoring requests for deletion. You need to build secure, repeatable processes for subject access requests, SARs, that comply with POPIA's timelines and standards. Accessibility must be paired with accountability. When you apply these principles, you're not just ticking boxes, you're building a culture of privacy and trust. POPIA empowers individuals, but it also challenges you to step up and lead with transparency, care, and technical precision. These 8 principles are more than legal guidelines. They're the foundation for ethical, secure, and resilient data management. By embedding these principles into your daily operations, you protect your users, your organization, and your reputation. That's privacy leadership in action. As a security leader, your responsibility under POPIA isn't just to be aware of the law. It's to make it real, visible, and actionable across your organization. That means taking tangible steps that embed privacy and protection into daily operations, technology choices, and team behaviors. Here's how you put POPIA into motion. You need to understand exactly where personal data enters, moves, and exits within your systems. Map out how it's collected, stored, processed, and shared, both internally and externally. Without this visibility, you're making decisions in the dark. A clear data flow map helps you identify exposure points and compliance gaps before they turn into incidents. All data isn't equal. As a security leader, you should establish a data classification framework that flags personal and sensitive information based on risk. This ensures the most critical data gets the strongest protection and helps employees know how to handle information appropriately across systems and departments. You must enforce strict access controls to ensure that only authorized users can access personal data. Apply the principle of least privilege, regularly review permissions, and monitor for unusual behavior. POPIA expects you to know not only who has access, but also why they have it and when they should lose it. Data must be protected wherever it lives and wherever it travels. Use encryption, data loss prevention, DLP, and tokenization to shield data from unauthorized access or theft. These controls must be part of your architecture, not an afterthought. You need to have clear, tested incident response plans that specifically address POPIA's breach notification requirements. That means defining timelines, roles, communication protocols, and ensuring everyone knows what to do if personal data is exposed. A fast, compliant response can significantly reduce regulatory and reputational fallout. You can't do this alone. Your team and the entire organization must know how to identify privacy risks, handle data responsibly, and report violations. Regular training, phishing simulations, and awareness campaigns help keep privacy top of mind and reduce the risk of human error. If your vendors process personal data, you're still responsible. Make sure you vet their privacy posture, demand evidence of compliance, and include POPIA-specific clauses in contracts and SLAs. Trust doesn't replace verification, especially when it comes to shared data. POPIA compliance isn't one and done. You must keep policies, procedures, and documentation current, especially as laws, technologies, and business models evolve. Regular reviews and updates show both regulators and stakeholders that you're committed to continuous improvement. POPIA is more than a legal requirement. It's a blueprint for responsible, ethical data management. As a security leader, you play a vital role in making sure these principles come to life, not just in policy, but in practice. By taking these steps, you're not just checking boxes. You're building trust, reducing risk, and leading with integrity in an increasingly privacy-conscious world. So, what's your leadership takeaway? Privacy isn't just a legal checkbox, it's a fundamental right and a business differentiator. By aligning your security strategies with POPIA's principles, you demonstrate responsibility, build trust with customers, and shield your organization from regulatory risk. As a security leader, it's your duty to go beyond firewalls and encryption. You must create a culture of privacy, where personal information is respected, protected, and handled with care. That's how you lead in a world where privacy is no longer optional. It's expected.